Hello, it is July. Happy 4th of July. Woo woo. Okay, so I'm excited because we're going to create an awesome art project for the 4th of July. And it is called Fireworks in the Sky. Yes. If at any time you need help, go ahead, put pause, and ask a grown-up to come and help you. Now, the list of materials for this specific art project will be listed in our description box below, along with the links letting you know where you can find those materials. All right, kids, let's get started with our amazing 4th of July fireworks art project. Kids, so before we get started, we need to go over the list of materials that you'll be needing in order to complete your 4th of July art project. So, you're going to need a towel or a paper towel is fine, a water cup or a water bottle, mixed media art paper, it can be 7 by 10 or a 9 by 12. You're also going to need your paint brushes. Now the following brushes that we're going to be using for this project is the flat 5/8 brush. You're also going to need your round number 4, angular 1/4, and the liner brush, which is 10. So these are the 4 brushes that you're going to be needing for the following art project. You're also going to need a paint palette, and the colors that we will be using for the 4th of July art project is yellow, white, blue, red, green, violet, aquamarine, neon pink. If you don't have neon pink, you can use pink, that's fine. Black, yellow, green, and I hope I said aquamarine. All right, kids, let's get ready to start painting. All right, so now that we're ready to get started, we are going to grab our flat brush and we're going to grab some blue and add it to some black, because we're going to combine and mix those colors. So go ahead, grab some blue and your black and blend it in. Now normally I would use a spatula, but today I'm just going to use my paintbrush. All right, now that I feel like I have a nice, healthy, blended color, I'm going to go ahead and start painting. Now it looks really dark and you can see streaks of blue, so go ahead, grab some blue, and you're already blended black and blue. So go ahead and start painting the sky. And so you see that nice little blue streak, that looks gorgeous. So what we want to do is grab the rest of our blue, and if you need to add more blue, which looks like we are going to need to do that, let's blend it in and just stroke the bottom. We want this part to be pretty dark. We're going to leave this area light. Fill it in. Beautiful. Look at that. That night sky. Let's keep going. Now, I'm out of a little blue, so I'm going to grab some blue. I'm going to put my paintbrush aside, grab my blue. Perfect. I like to keep my blue on the side. You never know when you're going to need it. So I'm going to get a little more black and just blue and just kind of blend in my black and blue. But if you notice, my paint is getting a little dry, so I'm just going to always add a little bit of water to your paintbrush if your art paper is starting to get a little dry too quick, and it'll help spread it out. So perfect. So I'm going to get a little dip. Let's spread it out. So as you can see, I'm just painting with my paintbrush really flat because I really want to make sure it spreads evenly. I'm going to add streaks of blue. There we go. And that's how far I want to go with my dark night sky. And we want to make our sky dark because when the fireworks go off on the 4th of July, it's pretty dark, right? And so this will help our fireworks really stand out. All right, so I'm happy with my blue streaks and I'm happy with my night sky. So go ahead and rinse your brush. Your water's going to turn to a lovely blue color. And even though it's used black, it's still going to look pretty awesome. And it's starting to get a little darker because we have black paint. And so what I like to do, it's really important to really wash and clean your brushes off to really take off the paint. Otherwise, what happens if you leave paint on your brushes, the paint gets really hard and it hardens the bristles to your brush, and then you'd have to buy another one. So it's important to take care of them. So here we go. Now I'm putting my paintbrush aside and I'll use it later on. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to let our sky dry off a little, and we're going to start adding, you know, our buildings. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my angular brush, 1/4 angular. I'm going to rinse it just a little bit because my bristles are a little hard. So we need to soften it just a tad bit. See? Perfect. So what I want to do is I want to create a red angular building. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of do an outline with my paintbrush of how I want it to look. So it's a little wet, but it's not. It's wet and dry enough where you can paint over. So I want to add like a cool, like triangular shape to it. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting. Beautiful. Now there's some streak of black on my paint, but that's okay because it's coming from my paintbrush and the black paint. So we're going to have to go over this maybe once or twice. But now we've added the first base layer of our building. And it's okay if some of the black goes onto, like if you see a little bit of streak of black, we want that, okay? We do want that. Gives it like a nice night look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rinse my angular brush. I like to press at the bottom because it really helps to take the paint off. because we're going to be using another paint. So if you notice, I rub my bristles against the glass to make sure that the color is gone, because I'm going to add a different color. So what I want to do, since I'm out of blue, I'm going to grab my little tube of blue, add some more paint, put it aside, and start on my next little tower. So I want this one to be a rectangular, narrow tower. And it's going to be a little on the tall side. And we're also going to do another layer once we get through all the creating our other little buildings. There we go. Beautiful. Who is looking forward to the 4th of July? I sure am. Nice. So now that we have a nice outline of our building, we're going to rinse this brush again. As you can see, your watercolor has changed to a dark black purple. All right, and if at any time you need to change your water, you can press pause and change out your water. So I'm making sure that my brush is clean. Now I'm going to start on the next color, which I want to use green. So for this one, I'm going to keep them short. It's going to be a square building. There we go. I have nice square building. And we're also going to add a second layer to it, you know, just like the red and blue buildings we have just painted. Okay, so once we're done, yep, you know it, we're going to rinse our brush again and make sure it's super clean. And we're going to start with purple. A little violet. And this one is going to have a beautiful. I am loving the way it looks. Now you can decide whatever shape you want for your building. You can make it look like a house top. You can make it add a triangular shape to it if you want. There we go. Beautiful. Now we're going to add a layer to it because it's a little wet right here. And that's okay. We're going to come back once we get done with red, blue, and green again. So this is the shape to my purple building. Now you got it, we're gonna go to the next one. Whoops. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse out my brush, rub my bristles against the glass so the paint comes off, and I can start on the next one. Now for the next one we have a red, we have a pink. We could do it. I wanted to do a pink building, but if there's a color that you prefer, go and do it. So I need to make pink, so I'm going to get some white and I'm going to add it to my paper, get some red, and have a ball. Look at that, I just made my pink. You guys just learned how to do pink, unless you didn't know before. Now you know. So I just made a nice rosy pink building. Now I want this one to be tall, so I'm going to get a little bit more red paint and mix it. We need a little bit more white. There we go. Make it nice and rosy. See how I did that? Blended my colors. Beautiful. Now you've learned a different way to blend your colors. Beautiful. All right, so I'm really happy with my rosy pink. So I have a lot of paint, so I'm going to really make sure that it really spreads through. This one's probably going to need just one more extra layer. Perfect. And we're going to rinse, and we're going to repeat the same process. Beautiful. Sometimes beautiful. All right. Let's grab our red and paint over. So it looks like we're probably going to need 3 layers of red, and most likely 3 layers. So we're going to set this brush aside, and we're going to get our round number 4 brush, and you're going to dip it in white paint. Now normally I would have a popsicle stick because it's so much easier and cleaner, but today we're just going to have fun, and we're going to flick and create stars in our night sky. I wonder, yes, I'm going to try something here. Let's experiment and see if this will work. Yep. So what you can do is just grab your other paintbrush and just flick it So you can add your little stars. You can use your finger or you can use a brush. Now, popsicle sticks work a lot better than fingers. But you can see little flecks of white. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, clean my finger, rinse the bottom of this brush, and just wipe it clean. And so now you've learned how to create stars using your finger or the bottom of the paintbrush, the base of the paintbrush. Or like I said before, popsicle sticks work much better. So now what I want to do is, now that my paintbrush is nice and wet, I am going to decide what colors I want for my fireworks. Now I love aquamarine. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab some aquamarine paint, and I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm just going to do little flicks. So go ahead, pick whatever color you want. Remember, this is your art project, and if you want to use different colors for your fireworks, it doesn't have to be like mine, okay? Just consider me like a guide, just showing you how to use colors, how to paint it, ideas, have fun, explore. I always like to encourage exploring. All right, so that's we have like colors bursting from the sky, right? Love it. I'm going to add a little bit of hot pink or neon pink, because those fireworks are pretty, that's right, colorful. That's why we like them, because they're just so vibrant in colors and bright and just so hopeful and fun. Some people love fireworks, others don't, but they love looking at them. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the turnout of this firework. All right. Now we're going to start the next one, which I'm going to go for some neon green. I'm just going to flick, kind of like an X. Do a lot of flicking, little fleck. I like a star bursting. All right. Beautiful. I'm really loving how that looks. It looks gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and add like a little bit of dark green. Just kind of highlight the, kind of bring it out, right? Like I said, you can add whatever color you want. A A little bit more. Beautiful. This is looking really nice. Now what I'm going to do is go crazy. Not crazy, but let's add some pink. There we go. And so what I'm using right here is just using the tip of the paintbrush, not the whole thing, just the tip, and really making like light fleck movements with my paintbrush. And if you notice, I'm starting from the middle and just kind of doing the swishing. Awesome. Go ahead and get a little bit of white and just kind of and adding a little bit more neon pink. Doesn't that look incredible? Yes. And if you want to add like another little one, you can. So what color would you use? Do a little blue one, just a little. Do a little flecks. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some white. White there, perfect. Need a little more. Making sure I add a fleck to that. Let's add a tiny bit of blue. All right, so if you want to add more fireworks, go right ahead. But I'm done with my fireworks and I want to add a moon. So there we go. I'm going to dip my round brush, get some white paint, and then add a little bit of yellow, kind of blend it in together. Perfect. Now I want to add a crescent moon. Whoops, too much paint. I gotta roll it off just for right now. So we have a nice little corner right here that can help with your moon, so we can, there we go. I'm going to grab my blended white and put it aside. So now what I want to do is grab my flat brush, my 5/8 flat brush, and we are going to go ahead and finish the rest. So I'm going to go ahead, lightly touch it. Oh, it's much better. So now I can grab some red paint. Oh, good. Perfect. Now my red is red, right, the color that I need it to be. Now I'm going to rinse. We're going to get some blue. Dry off my brush, grab some nice blue, and beautiful. Perfect. I'm gonna rinse that one. So now what we have to do is grab some red and add it to my white and blend this beautiful pink. Beautiful. All right, now that we're done, we're gonna go ahead, rinse our paintbrush. Place it back in the little jar, and I'm gonna grab my liner brush, okay? And we are going back to our yellow. So we're gonna dip our little paintbrush, just a little yellow, and we're gonna create little windows. So I'm going to add random ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you notice, I'm skipping some of them because not everyone's home. Now that you've completed your art project, so proud of you. I hope you had a great time, and I hope that you learned a few things. And if you did, all right, kids, click on the button below to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Art Time with Lori. So that way you can get notifications for our upcoming summer art projects. All right, kids, I'll see you soon. Bye. Happy 4th of July.